Okay, so I believe we are live and ready to go. Um, for people that saw the notification, this will in fact be the last live dogs show of the year. Um, but we do have some exciting things coming up in the future. I'll get into that later. but yeah, so for the last show, strictly picking underdogs. Before we get into some new stuff, um, it'll probably be a short show because I only got two picks here, and then I'll explain what's to come from me. But we'll get right into it. Not to keep you guys waiting too long. This will be NFL. I did NCAA football yesterday. We got NFL today. So first one will probably be, if I had to guess, the most picked underdog of the week, and it's the Cowboys at plus 125 versus the Cardinals. And I don't know. If you ask me, obviously this line is swayed just because of the Dak injury. But if you ask me, they looked pretty good with Andy Dalton in that game-winning drive. I personally don't think Dak's that good anyway. I think he's an average quarterback, so I don't think he's losing, or I don't think the team's losing too much. Plus, Andy Dalton's had some good years. He's a respected quarterback. They shouldn't slow down too often, but yeah. So even regardless of that, the team right now is the top offense in the NFL in yards per game. I get it. A lot of it's Dak. I just don't think it's going to slow down too much with Andy Dalton. Yeah, think about it. This team still has Zeke. They still got Amari. They still got Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. Their offense isn't going to be hurt too much. I mean, the defense, it's bad. No doubt about that. They obviously need some work, but I just think they can score enough points to outscore the Cardinals here. So, yeah, I mean, the Cardinals haven't really looked too good anyway, at least in my eyes. Kenyon Drake's been awful, and he's like top 10 in carries. So, I mean, they lost to the Lions, the Panthers. Excuse me. I just think this is a game that you probably shouldn't overthink. The Cowboys are the better team, and they're still the better team even without Dak. Plus, they're at home, which is kind of weird that they're underdogs at home. But I just think you can't overthink it. Go with the Cowboys at plus 125. Seems like a pretty safe bet. Definitely should be a close game at worst. I don't think the Cowboys get blown out here. So we can move into the second and final pick before I get into the plans for the future. And it's the 49ers plus 155 versus the Rams. Again, I think this is a lot of recency bias. The 49ers are not that bad. They got blown out by the Dolphins last week, but they're not that bad of a team. It's too big of a reaction to put them at plus 155 versus the Rams. Their defense is still fifth best in the NFL in yards per game. They got the third best pass defense. They're 11th in rush defense. It's actually pretty weird because when you go to these two teams and look at their defensive stats, they are pretty much right next to each other in literally everything. I think they rank like fourth and fifth in total defense, third and fourth in pass defense, I think. So they're very similar teams is what I'm trying to get at least on defense. The Rams offense has been a little bit better, but the 49ers have obviously been playing without Jimmy G, without Mostert. So they're getting back to full strength. I know it didn't look good last week, but I think that was kind of just shaking some things off, maybe taking the Dolphins as an easy opponent. I'm not putting too much into it. So I don't think that 49ers team is able to come out here and play like that 2 weeks in a row. So I think they bounce back and win as an underdog this week. I'm not saying the Rams are bad by any means. I just think the teams are pretty close, and plus 155 gives you pretty good value to take the underdog. So yeah, those are my two underdog picks for the weekend. 3 NCAA picks that I gave out yesterday. But yeah, so that'll do it for live dogs. We had a hell of a run over the last like 2 months or so. I mentioned yesterday we ended up finishing around hitting 53.3% of our bets for about plus 29 units. It's actually plus 28.84. So we had a good stretch, but now we're on to some new things. Starting next week, so I won't be on for the rest of this week. Well, I will be on Friday for the UFC show if anyone's interested in that, 6 p.m. Friday. Preview the UFC card. It's a pretty good one this week. But starting next week on Tuesdays, I'm going to be having an NCAA football show. It's not just underdogs, but spreads as well. Maybe the occasional over/under, but the priority will be on game lines. What I think. I mean, there'll still be underdogs thrown in there. Trust me, I love playing underdogs, so I'll throw those in. So yeah, that'll be Tuesday, college football. And Thursday will be pretty much the same thing, focusing more on game lines, but it will be NFL instead of college. And yeah, it'll pretty much just be the same thing. We're at a point where NBA's over, MLB's on its way out, World Series is coming up, and it was time to just it made it tough to get underdogs because the further it goes, the better teams are obviously going to be favorite, and yeah, so there's just a limited pool to choose from. So we're going to be going into football, and not just focusing on underdogs. Actually, pick some favorites to win and cover games, which is something that we don't really do here. So, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I told you it was going to be pretty short. Just get through what I had and tell you guys what to expect. Hopefully I made you guys some money throughout this. I know there's virtually no chance that anyone just ended up tailing every single game I picked throughout these last 2 months, but if you did, it worked out pretty well. If you pick and choose here and there, hopefully I made you a little bit of money. So yeah, I mean, it's been a good run. Don't want to prolong this too much, but just recap: Tuesdays NCAA, Thursday NFL starting next week, and then I'll continue doing my UFC shows for people that like to tune into those. So yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully I will see you guys on Friday for UFC, but at the very least, you can come back next Tuesday, get some college football. College football is getting good because Big Ten and Pac-12 are getting closer and closer to coming back. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys next time, and thank you guys for tuning in to Live Dogs. Always a fun way to start my day. So